Hey guys, Jason from the Glitter Guy, and this is the August Quack Pack Craft video. We're gonna be making a spooky centerpiece that lights up. First, I wanna start with the keychain. That's what I like to always go with first. It's quick and easy, and we'll get it out of the way. So, you guys should have a skull acrylic blank that came in the box. It's got the masking paper on it still. All right, we want to take our NFT tag. You guys need to know how to program it. The link, if you scan the QR code on the info card, in that listing at the bottom, it has a few different app options for you to be able to write these. It's very easy. But if you want to also go back to our February craft video, I do that portion of it where I show you how to set up the app and add links. Under the listing is the SVG for the skull, which makes it very easy. But also, I think that just doing it freehand with an X-Acto knife is just as easy. So that's what I'm going to do. Do the hollow first. Just let it right on top. SVG. Got my X-Acto. I'm just gonna cut around the edges. Don't cut yourself. That is 1/2 done. The opaque. I did not make this vinyl into like a regular print because I didn't know if it has a purpose other than like this. But if you guys like this, you just let me know in the comments and stuff. You should have, if you did it like me, an opaque side cracked skull and a holographic side cracked skull. I'm gonna keep it to the side, and what we're gonna do is when we mix our fast cast for the rest of the craft, we're gonna put a thin coat on the top and bottom. Not completely necessary, totally fine to just have it skinned, but we're gonna have the epoxy mix, so honestly, why not? You can also use UV resin as well if you have that on hand. So let's just put that off to the side and move on to the main craft. So one thing I want to point out is that epoxy and glass are not necessarily friends. This creates heat. Glass doesn't necessarily like to get really hot. So what we're gonna do is we're just doing epoxy very sparingly as drips. So overall, let me explain what the craft is going to be. And then I'm gonna approach it in the way that I want mine to look, but there are some variations that you guys can add into this to make it your own. First, obviously, we need the skull. I'm gonna have the cork, take the cork out, and this is where the variations kind of start. We have the fairy lights. Like I had in the example, you can unstring all the fairy lights, get them inside the skull, and you can have it just be a dry centerpiece with the lights inside, right? I think that still has a pretty cool aesthetic. So you can add another level to the craft if we add the magic flow to it. That's another version. So we are going to do that with our craft this time. If you guys want to save, you scan the QR code that came in the box, use TGG box on Two Moms Craft Shack's website, and specifically for the 32-ounce bottle, that will save you $5. So it's $12 flat rate shipping. That makes it total $19.99 for this bottle right here. So that will actually give you enough for this, and I think like we'll have like half-ish left over after. So definitely a good value there. First, let me address your candle holder. That is actually what this 3D printed piece is. This is an adapter, beep, 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 so that it'll hold this candle on here. You want it to be black to match this candle to go with the way that I was going with this look. You can do a multicolored kind of candle, retro vibe, like I think that might actually look cool too. Your piece might not actually be black. I was cheating and I went in the pile. They're all random colors that came in the boxes. I just grabbed the black one so that I didn't have to run outside and spray paint this ahead for you guys. But my suggestion is to paint it black. I have some acrylic black paint here as well. So this piece is specifically designed to fit over this end here, right? You gotta kind of like wiggle it on there, but it should go. You don't want to break it. Nice. You don't need to, like, it's a snug fit, so you shouldn't even need to adhere this completely on here. And also when we do the drips, that's gonna add like another level of somewhat adhesion. I mean, the glass is super smooth, so it's not gonna like really bond to it, but we just want it to have like that look. You'll see. We're gonna take our fairy lights. If you want to use the lights, I mean, I suggest it. I think that's a big part of the aesthetic. You need to feed them through the piece. I probably should have done that before I put it on, but I can still do it this way. So there's a hole in the back specifically so that you can run the wire through it. There we go. Little wiggling and she'll go. Put them down into the skull. And there's honestly no real rhyme or reason to this because you're putting in such a condensed space. It's gonna kind of do its own little artistic bends and stuff. Cool, cool. Next, attach my battery pack to the back here. This was designed so that it goes in here. Guys, you want to have the screw side up because that's how you access the batteries if you ever want to get back in here and change these batteries out. So I have a hot glue gun ready to the side. So that should sit right in place. I'm gonna mix the fast cast a little bit right now because I want that to actually start setting up to do the drips. It has like roughly a 15-minute work time, so we're gonna let it sit for like 10-ish minutes. We'll continue to go back in with the stick to make sure it's getting like real gloopy. And that is a technical term. Rub our gloops. I want a decent amount of drips, so okay, we'll do 25. Not too much because you will mess up the chemical reaction. So just a couple drops. We're gonna leave that to start setting up a little bit. What we can do in the meantime is we can take a little bit of this black paint. We can paint this guy, a little battery pack. Also make sure, guys, that the listing for the candle that I used, I got them on Amazon. So I wanted to choose a candle that's super accessible for anyone if they wanted to get replacements. And also they have the same exact diameter candle in taller versions as well too. So like if you want this to sit higher, you can definitely source that. So the magic flow, guys, we are going to take some and put it in a squeezy bottle like I did, or grab a funnel if you have any. But I thought that this would make it a little bit easier to get it in there. Probably also should have added this first, but. All right, I'm leaving a little bit because I want to add brains to it. I'm actually gonna make myself a little funnel out of the backing paper from the vinyl squares. All right, get down in there. Swoosh, swoosh. If you're wondering if the lights will still work with the magic flow, they will. All right, let's keep checking. Not the goop enough. We'll get our candle set. And why don't we start torching our candle while we wait for the epoxy? Because I do want to it to have like a melted factor. So I got torch. Melt, candle, melt. It's getting melty. Then we'll add the epoxy drips to it. Trying to avoid getting too much of this on the candle. I don't really want to burn this later. Probably should avoid putting a bit of it on the battery pack, but too late. I think the messier the better, the more kind of natural these drips. I'm gonna let this all kind of cure in place. I know it's gonna stick to the paper a little on the bottom. I should have actually had this on a silicone mat. Most of you guys probably do have this on a silicone mat. The paper thing just kind of works for me for our setup, but if it's on a silicone mat, then them drips at the bottom will stay with him. Like when you cure it, you should be able to just lift them all up whole. Hopefully I didn't get any on the switch. It looks like I did. I don't know. Make sure if it's on the switch, you clean it off. So you can actually turn this thing back on. And that's it. I also, while we were hanging out earlier, I put ectoplasm in a different one just so that you could see the color vibe. Brains, ectoplasm. Could do another one with Panther as well. I'll definitely try that out, or try mixing some Panther with some ectoplasm. I think that there's so many different ways that you guys can do this. You don't have to do the drips with the fast cast. I just honestly really wanted you guys to get some fast cast. So the drips, I think, is something that's really fun that it can do, but you could definitely do hot glue gun drips. You could do, you know, tulip paint drips. There's some different options. Do different color schemes, kind of mix it up, make it make it your own. So I hope you guys definitely enjoyed this craft. Keep trying to come up with unique ideas like this, hopefully to just get you guys and myself out of my comfort zone a little bit instead of just making the same old things. Continue to stay signed up to the Quack Pack for really cool crafts like this. The next box is holiday season themed. Really excited about it. So look forward to that. I already have the stuff rolling in for that. So that one should be a really fun craft as well. Don't forget to like, subscribe, everything down below, and I'll catch you guys next time.